I am a father of a 13-year-old male swimmer. I have yet to find any articles or interviews of you working with swimmers or offering advice to high school swimmers. Yeah, good. Well, because I don't. So that would be a reason. I value your opinion and would appreciate your thoughts. My basic understanding of swimming is that streamlining while exerting force through an arm movement and kicking is the key. I think so. It seems to me that the various kettlebells and body weight movements would be ideal. I would agree with you. I think that goblet squats, presses, swings, and get-ups would be good in season as well as off-season. I think you're right. A major concern for swimmers is shoulder health. Any thoughts you have for shoulder health would be helpful. One of the great pioneers in weightlifting, in fact, two of my heroes in the sport were both swimmers. John Jerome, who wrote Staying Supple, which I still think is probably the best flexibility book I've ever read, flexibility and mobility book I've ever read. Every time someone asks me a question, I just go back to his book. Now, everybody invented what he said later, but he was one of the people who said it first. That's sarcasm in case you missed that. But he also wrote a book called Staying With It, about being a master swimmer. And I think some of his best chapters on him relearning technique as a master swimmer. And of course, the other person is Indiana's James Councilman, who was the first person basically to prove, we all knew it in track and field, but he proved that weightlifting helps swimmers. Now, it comes with a caveat. He's kept trying to find machines. And they're still around at many gyms. It's the weird little, it's a bench with a pulley system on it like this. You lay down and do this. Now, the problem is that that's too close. And we know with specific sports conditioning, specific sports training, too close hurts. Shooting weighted basketballs is murderous on your free throws. It does work in some cases. Overweight shots in the shot put work. Overweight discs. I know that the East Germans made it work, but I've never made it work. Overweight in the javelin doesn't work. It seems to me as you ramp up speed, it's harder and harder for overweight implements to help with the higher speeds. So I like your idea of just get them strong. The problem and what's going to happen is they're going to go in the weight room, they're going to bench press. When you combine bench press with probably the butterfly and the crawl, you're probably going to look at a lot of extra shoulder issues that you just brought on yourself. I agree with you on kettlebells. I would argue the goblet squat, the Turkish get-up, the goblet squat, not bad. General movements, good for mobility, nothing fancy. The single arm kettlebell press part here, and you come all the way up on every rep. I think that would be very wise because in my experience, it is like an absolute win-win with no shoulder problems there. And then of course I would, if you can, turn this young man into a pulling machine, a pull-up machine. I don't think you probably, if I could do everything again as a coach and athlete, I would do a lot more pull-ups. Notice I didn't say jog like some people say or this and that, but I would do a lot more pull-ups. Yeah, you ask about using cleans and snatches. Yeah, I would. You're gonna be teaching this person a whole new thing in the off season. Maybe just get them strong with deadlifts. Make it as simple as you can. Stay away from anything fancy with the shoulder. The shoulder's getting enough work. That was a good question. Thank you for asking.